We spoke about the easy to go disruptions, like, for example, AI from a consumer standpoint. Now, from a builder standpoint as well, because the consumers have started accepting it much easily, investment has started flowing in, and the government has also become supportive. What about the other technologies like blockchain, like quantum computing, like IoT for that matter, or anything else which is new right now, which theoretically proves its metal, but to prove practically, it requires support from investors and the governments. Because once this support comes in, only then the builders are going to be able to make the product so efficiently that the users get the benefit of it. So, what's your advice to the young builders, if I may direct this question to be addressed to them? What strategy do they need to adapt to build the products which satisfies these four players and achieve their goal?
I think you need use cases, of course, things that people can see, because even investors and let's say governments are not going to, of course, you have a few governments, Saudi, UAE, for example, that are putting lots of money behind the new technologies, but the majority are not. Not there yet. They're very slow. They're waiting to see what's going to happen. And I think you need to have some use cases, because even the people in government are also just people, right? People that are investors are not all savvy, and they're still putting their money into traditional investments. So if you want these people to shift and move into more let's say mainstream new tech, mainstream new tech. So I'm talking about all the new technologies that are really cutting edge and everything. And if you want these people to move in, and you want governments to start putting in new regulations and not follow after it's already implemented in some countries, because they lose, they're lagging. Their societies will lag behind everybody else if they're not investing and if they're not implementing. So you want them to do it. So you need to do a lot of advocacy, of course, education. You have to bring these events to them. Right now, it's still concentrated in a couple of these really great countries, like here. I think India as well, Saudi Arabia, US. It's still concentrated in a couple of these countries. To make it all mainstream across the world, you need more of these. You need to advocate to those other countries as well. Make it more mainstream. And I think by doing some use cases where they can easily understand it, otherwise they won't. I mean, you look at some governments and where they're having debates on certain things. You saw with the U.S. Congress, and they were interviewing with Mark Zuckerberg. And they didn't understand themselves. So you need to, about the technology. So when they were talking about it, when they were talking about him or about others in technology, they don't really understand themselves. So how can they question or put laws or regulations around those new technologies? Which means if you don't have the regulations and you don't have the right infrastructure in the country, how can investors feel comfortable investing in it? Even around, let's say, blockchain, for example. Blockchain, of course, is not just crypto, of course. It's all those other applications that are built on top of it. And as you're doing, of course, the security. So people have to feel comfortable, that security layer that's on top of it. That, people have to feel comfortable that if I'm going to be in this technology, it's not going to hurt me. It's going to benefit me.
Yeah.